What's happening, people? Welcome to the United View, and we are here at the Amex Stadium here in Brighton, and I have to say it's absolutely fantastic. The guys here have been amazing to us, but that's in another video. You can see the behind the scenes with that. This is the preview for the game because there is a game to be played. This is amazing, but make sure you guys check out the video that takes you behind the scenes here at the Amex Stadium. This is going to be a really difficult game for Manchester United. Obviously, we've checked out. We're not playing for much. We're going through the formalities, the last couple of games of the season. And I did predict we'd get the 2 more wins after that, before the end of the season, which was ended up being Norwich. And I said we'd get 1 more. That came against Brentford. We're now into the territory of the 2 that I predict that we wouldn't win. Very, very tough trip here to Brighton. You look at what Graham Potter's done with this team. It's been immense. Yes, they've had dips of form in the season, which has always been an issue. But they started off really well, and they're definitely ending the season on the high. You only have to see what they did last week against Wolves. 3-0, very, very comfortable. You're looking in weeks before that, they've gone to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, smashed them as well, beaten Arsenal. So, this is a team that fears nobody. And every time we come to the Amex, we get a really difficult game. I know we didn't win. We won last time we was here in lockdown. When the fans was here, I don't think we did win. I remember being in the way in there and not coming away with a win. So it's a difficult place to come to. We know that. But how do we approach the game? I mean, it's really difficult. You've got the Jesse Lingard situation rumbling along. He's upset for getting disrespected and not being allowed to, leave the club on a high. We'll see how that goes. But honestly, I will play exactly the same team that we played against Brentford last week, in midweek, sorry. Because the way I see it, was that midweek? When was that game, Josh? Was it Saturday? I forgot now. When was the Brentford game? Saturday, it was Saturday, yeah. I forgot. So many games, you forget. But it was Saturday. Yeah, it was. Monday. It wasn't Saturday. It was Monday. There you go. That's what I mean. It feels like the season's been about to end for about a year. But it is. But yes. Anyway, the last game against Brentford, I played the same team. I thought Juan Mata was spot on in that game. Matic obviously had his last game against at Old Trafford. But again, I'd start him here today. Fred's back. I'd play Fred. I'd probably go with Fred and Matic in there. I'll take McTominay out. He hasn't really been great since he's come back from his injury. He's really struggled. And at the top end of the pitch, again, Bruno, as much as we said it on a couple of shows, and KG definitely wasn't having it, and Ajax and the guys from We Talk Ajax, I think it was one who was talking about it, saying, Bruno could play from the wing. And it was interesting because we saw that against Brentford with Juan Mata in the 10 and Bruno coming from the left and Elanga on the right in support of Ronaldo. And it worked. It actually worked. Bruno played one of his, more comfortable games, should we say, in the last couple of months where he hasn't been great. Coming in off that left, making third man runs, he makes that dart into the box, he gets the tap in from Elanga. I just felt it worked, and the balance and the control that we had over the game with the likes of Matic in there, and Mata really helped us. And if you want to be good against Brighton, yes, they got a high press, yes, they got high energy, they got players who put you under pressure, but you need to have some level of control over the game. If we have a shootout here and make it like a basketball match, I think that favours Brighton. They're good in transition, they've got some good attacking players, their fullbacks are really, really high. You've got the likes of Solly March, you've got the likes of Cucurella who can go as well. They're not scared. If Lamptey plays, he's another one as well. So in the fullback areas, they will bomb on. Trossard as well, what talent he is. He's been playing in the left wing-back position as well, or on that left-hand side. He can cause you massive problems. So in transition, if you give the ball away cheaply, they've got a really dynamic front 3 or a 2 with a 1 if they go with Mope as a 1. And then Mwepu in behind that with Alexis McAllister. They're all quick players, all players who can get at you and cause you problems. So that level of control we're going to need. Ronaldo, obviously he starts the game, and you know what? I just hope he can score as many as he can in the last couple of games. It's a bit of a stretch probably for him to get the golden boot. I accept that. But just to carry on this fine run he's been on since he's come back since the tragedy of his son, it's been a revelation. He's the only bright light that we've had this season, considering it's been really poor. Obviously, David De Gea has done well, and so has Anthony Elanga. More from him, more from Elanga. Hopefully, he does start the game. This will be a good experience for him playing here at Brighton as well. I think that'll be a good way for him to kind of round off the season and see where we go from there. Defensively, obviously Varane, he's got his goal as well. He has got his goal, his first Manchester United goal. I think you go again with Varane and Lindelof. The Maguire thing's easy. He's out for the rest of the season with a niggle. I think that will just stay as it is. And the fullbacks, to me, again, obviously stay as it is with no Luke Shaw. These games, these dead rubber games, I say dead rubber for us. I can only speak for us, for Brighton. They're still enjoying the back end of their season and they want to win. But in terms of both teams pushing for an end objective, it's pride and just finishing in the best possible condition. And I feel like Brighton are probably more conditioned to do that than us, with a lot of our players checking out. We know Eric Ten Hag's coming and there's so much to change. And I think obviously that gives them the edge on top of playing at home, and they're just really, really confident right now. I think their last home game they drew 2-2 against Southampton, but we're 2-0 up, and obviously a little bit of magic from James Ward-Prowse, which he's capable of at all times, stopped them getting the win. But you know, they had a goal disallowed as well for offside, which I think I can't remember who shot from outside the box and scored it. Pretty harsh. So look, they're a force. And you know what you're going to get with Brighton. And there's a reason why Graham Potter's teams are so difficult to play against. Yes, you can catch Brighton when they're on an uncharacteristic off day, when they're not at their best. But I think this version of Brighton, what we're playing, is a confident, front foot Brighton, aggressive Brighton, who as well, with all due respect to us, are not going to fear us. They're not. And why should they? Manchester United have been horrendous. We did have a good, solid performance against Brentford, but that doesn't unmask everything else. Even Thomas Frank after that game was sort of saying Manchester United actually played well, which is not what I've seen in recent times under them. He was a little bit surprised at how well we played. So Graham Potter definitely won't underestimate us. He'll definitely prep his team well. But, you know, I think they have every right to believe that they can win this game and beat us, because, you know, we're not what we was, and we've clocked out. For us, it's about showing pride. It's about showing some passion and giving, you know, the away fans in the last 2 away games of the season something to shout about, something to, you know, go home and say, at least I saw a win on the last couple of games of the season, because that's all we're playing for, is pride. A lot of those players have checked out. A lot of those players aren't going to be here. So they are dead rubber games, but at the end of the day, you're a professional player playing for Manchester United, and you haven't been that professional this season with some of the performances we've seen. You have to say to yourself that you've got to show something. Ralf Rangnick as well, he's just starting to let the cat out of the bag with everything. He doesn't care who he upsets. He's going to pick who he picks. And that's why I don't think there'll be any massive changes. I think he's remained professional with his team selection. He hasn't just thrown in the kids into a broken Manchester United side, even though that could have, we wanted to see that as fans. He's kind of stuck with what he knows, which is Dalot at right back, Tellez at left back. He tries to play McTominay and Fred when they're available, but they're not. So, well, they are now, but I think Matic has been given that calming influence, and he's spoken so highly about him. So I think he has to play. And he loves Elanga. He's going to play. Rashford is out of his thoughts. Lingard's definitely out of his thoughts now. So I think there's every reason that he should go for the same team again, especially when we've had, you know, pretty much a week to prepare for it. So the older players like Matic and Matic should be absolutely fine in coming into this game. Prediction-wise, I think it'll be a draw. I can't see us coming in and beating them. I think Brighton will be very confident, and rightly so. They always give us problems. They're always at it. The place will be bouncing. Is this the last home game here as well? Or have you got one more after this? Well, I got one more. Okay, well, it's the second to last home game here. Place will be bouncing. There's not many games to come at the end of the season. And why not? Go for it. Finish on a high. You know, they've got a lot of good players. Some of them might get moved on in the summer. They're going to be playing at the best of their ability. They're not going to fear us. So that... Having said that, you know, we've got a little bit of calmness there, but we're too unpredictable. I can't predict just because we beat Brentford 3-0 that we're going to come here and turn up. So I'm going to go over a draw. I'm going to go over a 1-1 draw. Hopefully I'm wrong and Manchester United do win the game. But I can see it being a tough heart spot. There'll be over 30,000 fans here inside the Amex. Smash a like on the video and subscribe if you guys are new. And let me know in the comment boxes below what your prediction for the game is. And your starting 11. Would you keep it the same? Do you agree with me? Or would you make some changes? And if you would make some changes, which ones? Take care, guys. Peace.